Hi, it's Nick from HiFi Collective here. We have been asked quite a few times about screened speaker cables. Now, I did do a video sometime about using a Neotech cable where it was a screened speaker cable that we screened at one end, and it actually sounded quite amazing. There was a kind of inky silence to it. So we're gonna devise a screen cable using the Jupiter AWG12 dual wire, which is a tinned copper in cotton sleeving. So, and for the screening, we're going to use B-tube, but just to give you a bit of a view of how you have to, what you have to consider when you're doing things like this. Come with me into the stores. Well, you can do. Are we going in again?
Yeah.
Right, into the stores then. Oh, Johnny's drinking on the job. All right, Johnny. Music's a bit loud. Oh, what's Mark doing? What are you doing, Mark? We're doing some matching on our PK Precision. This guy wants some, we'll cover the address quickly. And the price. Right, so when you're considering shielding something, we're going to be pushing the wire through B-tube. So here's our B-tube. As you can see, we've got various lengths. And then here we have, this is the 12 version, which is here. So I'm going to pull it across so that I choose the appropriate kind of gauge. Now, I want to do 3-meter cable, stereo cable. So here we have the 5.5 B-tube. If you come up close. All right, so this is a 4mm, no chance, that wouldn't even go in. And then this is the 5mm, which goes in, but there is a bit of resistance already, and I've only gone in about 10 centimetres. So I know I'm not going to be able to push 3 meters of that through. So then we step it up to the 7mm. So here, and that goes in quite easily. So I know that there's going to be no problem with that one. So we're going to go the B-tube 7 with the dual Jupiter and AWG12. Let's put this back on. So as they say in Blue Peter, I've already got one ready over here. Just to make it easier, you have your one straight line of your B-tube here. I've already threaded this one. So basically you just push it through. So you're feeding off a straight line like that, and see it's come through to the end. See that at the end? So I've cut the B-tube 7 to 2.8 meters. So because you need a bit at the end, obviously, because you have to play with the cable. So this is how you thread it. Pretty easy. Let's go back into the lab. So we've got our half prepared wire. The Jupiter wire has been threaded through the B-tube 7. You can see that you've got a little bit extra. Try and even that out. That's about that. Cool. So at one end, doesn't matter which end at this point, we need to bring the shield together. So what I do is use some wire, make a loop there. To do that, I'm using this wire, which is the BICC 19-0.15. It's a multi-strand. So I'll shave, you want to go all the way around. So about that. So you've got to strip it down. So you're only going to be earthing at one end. So this will be in turn connected to the negative speaker terminal. See, there you go. It's all there. Just to hold that in place. So I need to do my work. So wrap it round. Reasonably tight. Just going to put a few bits of solder on. Just to keep it in place. Gonna just work your way around, just soldering to make a ring. Don't heat it up too much because the former of this is plastic and it will kind of melt. So I'm just going to just get this out of the way by doing that for the moment, because we need to put the ABS, which is this stuff, the ABS expandable sleeve in. Now I'm using the 20 gauge because it'll give it a bit of a flatter look, like to be more like speaker wire. So we've got to thread that through. I'm going to cut that to about there. Like that. This stuff's great. It actually stops some EMF as well. So, but you don't want it snagging, so just make sure around here it's smooth. If you think it's going to snag, just put some tape around it, which I'm going to do now, because this stuff will snag. And then I'm going to put some at the end, for the same reason. Like that. Cool. Now I'm going to thread it through. Better if the cable's straight while you're doing this. Open it up, pop it through. As I said, it's a lot bigger than the actual, not a lot bigger, but quite a lot bigger than the actual V-tube, this one. And this is 3 meters long as well. Bear in mind that this is 2.8 meters, so I think it's quite nice to have a bit of slack anyway. It makes the cable look a bit more substantial. Go. But just make sure you can get it right to the end. You've actually got enough. Wow, that's about right, that. As you can see, you've got lots of frayed ends here. Not good, so let's clean them up. Now we're going to be using some black heat shrink, two sizes. You've got the 19.1, the bigger one, and then this one, which is the 12.7. Cut 2 lengths like this, both the same length. Obviously for the other end. You might want to cut 4 because you've got to do the other speaker wire as well. Like that, we're good. So then open it up. Over. Put it all the way back, and then basically go about that far. So you've got about another 15 mil you've gone over, and then we're going to use the heat gun. Yeah, you have to let it cool down, because if you put, because I want to seal up a bit more, if you put that on now, this will melt while you're dragging it over. So you only need a little piece of this. I'm going to get some scissors. So, not a lot, so about 15 mil then. The reason I'm putting this one over the top is because I don't want the wire being pulled, or if it is pulled, it doesn't pull everything out. Just neatens up a bit. Cool, that's good. Now with the other end, we've got lots of bits of tape on, so I'm going to pull them off. You might need to work up a bit to the very end, which is about there. Pop this cable on, this heat shrink. This is the 19.1 mil diameter one. Slide it on. Push it back up. Up to about there. We've done it. While we're waiting for it to cool, you can see that you've got your connection that connects up to all of the screen here. It's only connected at one end, that's how it works. So this end, the screen isn't connected to the black, it's just short. So we need to when we wire up the bananas to we are using bananas on this connection, on these connections. You want to keep that black with the black connection, and you feed this in as well. So again, about 10 mil, 15 mil there. Be a bit thicker this end because you've got the extra bit of wire. Sure. Cool. Great. We're going to be using the Via Blue 30200 TS banana lamella plugs. So these I do quite like. I mean, they're gold-plated brass, but one thing I do like about them is they've got some really quite heavy-duty grub screws in here that go all the way in. Sometimes you buy these plugs and the grub screws only go halfway, so you can get a really good tight join. So we're using the 40112. This is a 2.7mm diameter cable end sleeve from ViaTube. So I've kind of stripped it down as long as the actual copper part is, and then just tightly twist them together so it looks like it's one, like that. No soldering on this actually, it's just kind of nice to use a cable end sleeve for a change. So you can see it's quite tight, and then just twist, 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 and then slide this over the top, and then you twist in the same way that the twist of the wire is, so you're not snagging it. There we go. You can use crimping pliers to go around, but I'm not going to worry because it's such a tight fit anyway. And then just take this back a bit. So now I've opened up the screws, there's the hole there. Pop that in there. Now I'm gonna see how deep it goes. I want it to go in a bit deeper than that. I want the black bit to go in a bit more. So I'm gonna take off about 5mm. Boom! Across the room. Pop that in. You wanna make sure that you've got enough that the contact's gonna happen. Spot on there. Right, that's pretty tight on. So now we're gonna fit the red one. So you're only obviously just stripping the red back. Now the cotton braid over the top of this wire is really, really quite tight. So you want to use a very sharp Stanley, and then make sure we go about the same kind of distance, about there, and then put a bit of force in. And remember, it's multi-strand, so you're not going to cut the cables because each strand is quite thick. So you can see that I haven't actually cut any strands off at all there. Cut that back, give it a twist. So, pop that over the top, twist in the same way you put it on, like that. Try and get them equal, which is about right, yeah? And then we're going to cut, so I'll take a few minutes off. Pop it on. Do a few turns on one, so you can feel it's contacted. Same on the other one, a bit tighter, and the other one a bit tighter, and the other one a bit tighter. There you go. So that's one end. So you can see that this is the end that you would connect to the amp. Yeah, because it's got the screen attached, you can see it there. There's your visual clue. You can see that you've got the black wire which is connected to this. This is your amp end. Cool. So now I'm going to repeat at this end what I did at the other end. But bear in mind, there is no additional earth wire connected to the screen, so it's a bit easier. Okay, so we've finished the cable. Let's just get this up so we can get it together. So quite a quality looking cable, I feel. You don't have to use the plugs that we use. You can use spades, you can bare wire it. You could bi-wire it. You could use a thicker B tube and get two lengths down of the dual. But pretty straightforward to build, and it's a great cable, so to rival the Dueland cable, and it will be inky silent because of the screen. Enjoy. Just before I sign off, I want to say a big thank you for watching our videos. Like and subscribe, and follow us on all the social network platforms. See you later.